very good, Rick.
What
very
is
good.
the other number? 710?
No. So this is Rick. Okay.
Hi, Rick.
Rick
Nicole,
Granoff.
nice to meet you.
Hello, Smokin Interiors is our company.
Yeah, you want to
Awesome.
put your microphone right near your mouth so we can actually hear you talk.
Terrific.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Nicole.
meet you as well.
I'm Rick Granoff from Smokin Interiors. What's going on in your beautiful life?
Yeah.
My life,
Yes.
personally?
Well, we're hanging. What's the question you want to ask him? See if he knows the question. 710.
Oh, what does 710 mean to the
In the
cannabis,
cannabis world.
industry?
Do you know? I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't know.
I don't
Oh,
know
Rick.
either, so
Unbelievable.
I guess
I
Wait, we
apologize.
gotta have.
I guess that's it.
I need a cannabis expert in
I
here.
don't know. You don't
I'm looking
know.
at.
None of us know.
I know. All right, so I can tell you what it is, guys. Okay, I'm gonna enlighten you. This is what I do here on what I'll be doing all weekend, actually.
Okay.
So we all know 420. So 710 is the celebration of dabbing, which is the new
Dabbing,
way to
710.
consume the highest concentrate of cannabis.
I did not know that, and
That's what
I am a millennial.
I know. Well,
I feel
trust
like
me,
you're
I didn't know it
insulting
no.
my
I saw-
intelligence here.
No. I saw Dan McCarthy, who's the editor of Sensi Magazine.
Sure, Danny.
You know,
Great guy,
do you know
yeah.
Dan McCarthy? Of course you
Lovely
do.
guy,
He's a
bright.
great guy. Saw him walk by, and it was Dan who put me on the Freedom Rally on the spot and said, "You're going to lose your dabbing virginity now."
Oh no!
And that video is on my website.
Well put.
So Jimmy Young losing his dabbing virginity at the Freedom Rally is a video you can search.
This live stream is 18 years and older only.
No, 21 actually. It has to be 21.
Okay, even better.
Well, actually, we don't. One of the interesting things, Rick, about what I'm learning is the companies in the business that don't touch the product, that aren't regulated. There's a ton of them in this room.
There are, and we're one of them. It's
Tell me about
Interiors.
Smokin Interiors.
So what's great about Smokin Interiors is that we're the fastest growing interior millwork fabricator into the cannabis space in the country now. We've got 21 retail sites to build in Massachusetts alone. We've already built 11. We've built in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, Nevada, soon to be Virginia, Delaware, Florida, etc. So
a lot of
Smokin
expansion.
Interiors is
Yeah.
a company that we developed 2.5 years ago. We thought of the name over a glass of Johnny Walker Black at the Capitol Grill in Providence, Rhode Island. And we then took this company and turned our millwork fabricating facility in Warwick, Rhode Island, right next to the airport, matter of fact, right next to Tom Brady's plane, into a millwork fabricator and designer. We just brought on Eugene Lee, Tony Award-winning and Emmy Award-winning set designer for Saturday Night Live and several Broadway plays, to be our director of design.
That's
So
really cool.
It's pretty
Congratulations.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah, and and we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I hope to be designing a news set at some point for the Cannabis Multimedia Network, and I might need a consultant.
It is our pleasure. In that, Eugene just finished doing the Jimmy Fallon set.
Yep. Oh, I
And
suppose you could work
the
on mine. then.
Late Night with Seth Meyers set,
He'll get right
and
on that.
my
Right.
favorite goofball comedian Conan O'Brien set.
Now, another local talent that's done very well, Conan from Brookline, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
That's exactly right.
Which is Steve Hoffman's hometown. Steve Hoffman, the commissioner, the chairman of the
Sure.
Massachusetts Cannabis Commission, and I
Sure.
interviewed him last week, and we will be interspersing the interview with Steve throughout our
Great.
18 hours of live streaming.
Jimmy, that's valuable because he's really quite a mover and a shaker in the business.
Well, and on top of that, he's a regular guy. He comes off as very genuine.
Oh, cool.
He listens. He wants to do the right thing.
Okay.
I feel like that's a trending thing in the cannabis industry, to have everyone be really accepting and laid back, and the people are not stuck up, and they just want to make a difference in the cannabis industry and push
Well,
that message of acceptance.
I think
I'll go along with that too.
Yeah, but I think there's a brotherhood that has evolved in the new cannabis space. And of course, this is the 5th year of the New England Cannabis Convention. They have 350 vendors. They sold it out. They put all their workshops and breakout rooms outside of it's around here in different rooms. And that's the other thing I hope to be doing. And actually, Nicole, if you didn't get caught in traffic, I was going to have you read over the different things that are going on, so you could say, hey, coming up next is going to be. We'll work on that.
We can do that.
But no,
after.
we're going to wing it. This is what I like to do.
Nicole, you are with
I am with
Me.
Jimmy.
with you.
she's
she's
she's one of my proteges.
Me.
Okay, and
She's
you're
one of my
you're-
proteges.
I mean, obviously, you've got a face for
Television.
for
It's
television.
okay.
That's
Oh,
for
thank
sure. And is that something you're aspiring to do?
By the way, he asked me the same question. He said the same thing to me.
Well, I knew
Oh,
you were-
really? So I have a bachelor's degree in communications with a concentration in journalism. So on and off for about 10 years now, I've dabbled in broadcast journalism, TV reporting, radio.
She's interviewed Ayla Brown. She's interviewed a few other people that have come through the Young Broadcasters
awesome.
of America. You know, because I had this working studio for kids for 5 years. And Nicole was one of our
Yeah, I
best
think I
students.
started when I was 13 or 14.
You were 13 years
Yeah.
old. God, you know,
I'm now
You-
23, disclosure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
Good for
right.
you.
Um,
Good for you.
Rick, you're at a booth here. What number booth are you?
505.
505, and it's like pretty much right as you come in. Am I right?
No,
It's-
actually, as you walk in the front entrance, take a left,
Left.
and go all the way to the end, and we're the first aisle all the way at the end.
and this is, you were here last year.
Right.
Were you here any conventions before that?
You
started your company
done the
2 years.
World Cannabis Congress show in New York.
Yep.
And we've done a couple of these, and we've been in Vegas a couple of times too
For MJ BizCon.
for MJ Biz. And MJ Biz is a bigger venue.
It's the
and-
biggest one, right?
Slightly.
Right. And we enjoyed it. We're growing in this region fairly rapidly, so our next step is going to be to really expand nationwide. Now, we did build for Curaleaf on Las Vegas Boulevard. They gutted an old Burger King, and now when you drive up to this Burger King, you won't be ordering 2 all-beef patties and special sauce, but rather some CBD beer and some
that's so
THC
cool.
stuff at the drive-in window.
I love
Nice.
that.
That's awesome.
That's how things have changed here in America regarding the
Well,
cannabis business.
That was it. Nevada, I'm not quite sure that it's really America. Middle America is not Nevada. I just want to say that.
That's a
it's
good
the
point.
adult playground.
Right.
It always has been. And I give them a lot of credit because they've really done a great job of accepting it and building a vibrant industry in a very short
Tremendous.
period of time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give a plug. One of my dearest friends has a gallery in Las Vegas, Neil Portnoy.
Neil
I-
Portnoy.
Do you know Neil?
Boy, you're hanging around some very
Neil and I go back
Influential
a
people.
long way.
influential.
So Neil, idrawpeople.com is his website. He's got a gallery in Las Vegas, and he's
Wow,
the
Jimmy, nice work.
Las Vegas Examiner illustrator, which is really kind of interesting. The Examiner's the newspaper in town, and Neil started his career in 1976 as the illustrator for the Worcester Telegram.
Okay.
At age, I want to say, let me do a quick math, maybe 22. And he's not 22 anymore, I can tell you that. But he's a great guy, great friend. You can find him on Facebook and all that stuff.
Nice.
And Miss Nicole here is an Instagram influencer.
I am.
And one of the things that I've learned about social media is the millennials, the younger folks, all those who are young enough to be my children, and there's quite a few of them out there. Let's just say anybody under the age of 40, pretty much.
There you go. I'm with you, buddy. Believe
So
me.
the Instagram is like the go-to social media platform for the millennials and young people. Nicole is a influencer, and the Weed Tube, which is one of our founding sponsors, started with 5 Instagram influencers that had hundreds of thousands of followers, and they all got kicked off YouTube at the same time, so they built their own little website.
Nice.
And the founder of the Weed Tube, Ryan Kornblatt, will be joining us on the phone anyway on Sunday because he's
Very nice.
too cheap to come up here. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Rick, social clubs are coming to Massachusetts. Somehow, some way, we're going to see it.
Yes.
How active are you expecting Smokin Interiors to be in the design of some of
Hell of a
these
good
new
question.
social clubs? One of these days, sometimes I do come up with a
No, that's a winner question.
Okay.
So the question first is, how long is it going to take for consumption lounges to be accepted legally?
Well, they're working on it. The commission's working on it now. They're having
Right.
public hearings. I've been to a few of
Yes.
them. And the different ideas that are coming up, I mean, they seem really focused. This is going to be their next thing that they do besides
Right.
doing the licenses.
Right.
What do you think you're going to see? Give me a vision. Give me a Rick Granoff vision of Smokin Interiors Social
Well-
Club in Providence, Rhode Island, or wherever it's going to be.
Well, I certainly, interestingly, the Rhode Island area has a preponderance of hookah lounges.
I was going to
Yes.
say that.
And
yes.
these hookah lounges are very popular and very profitable. I know several of the owners in Rhode Island who are successful in this category. I see the consumption lounge concept being a combination of this hookah lounge type of environment where people are sitting at a table and they're
Dabbing.
dabbing, passing along, smoking, as well as the ability to have unique beverages that are cannabis related. And I think the look and feel of it, which is your real question, I think is going to really depend on the area. I mean, our opinion is we want to make it a warm, inviting environment where the demographic requires an older crowd. And then we want to also create an environment for the younger kids that are of age to be able to go in and have that hookah lounge sort of, vibe.
Yeah.
And so those are the things we see it being.
And we know that in Massachusetts, the law, you cannot consume it in public, similar to how they regulate tobacco smoking. So that, everybody knows there are smoking areas and, you can't smoke in a public building. You have to go outside. We probably all have friends who still smoke cigarettes and have to go out in the 20-degree cold and have a
Yes.
cigarette. We all know people that do this.
For sure.
And by the way, nicotine is one of the most addictive drugs in the world.
I do know this because my 34-year-old son is the #1 salesman in the country for Joule.
Oh, wow.
And he lives in Brooklyn.
Nice.
He's a musician / terrific young man who's single. And I think that getting to the point there, he's...
Getting to the point is you really want him to meet Nicole.
Well,
I know.
that goes without saying. But the idea is that Joule sold 38% of its company to Afria, which is a Philip Morris fund.
Yep.
They sold 38 for $15 billion. My son was fortunate to be one of the few that he was the 60th employee of Joule, so
nice.
he shared. They each split $2.2 billion,
Wow.
which is pretty.
That's
amazing.
a good number to split.
And but the thing is, as incredibly challenging the tobacco industry is, Joule sold 38% of its company for that kind of money, and Afria bought it for a reason, because it's going to continue to grow, and that's
Joule
a train
in
they're not going
my
to stop.
age group is like a household name.
Sure.
Like everyone who has any kind of experience with vaping or tobacco consumption,
Right.
and they're trying to innovate it in any kind of way so you don't have to go outside to smoke that cigarette. It's just that is the leading
It's interesting.
company.
And we
It
know
is.
that everything is an adult use product that we're talking about here, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's a Joule. These are for over 21, and it's something that I know the cannabis industry has already launched many campaigns about responsible use of the product. And as an adult, you're supposed to do this.
So
Yeah.
Joule actually stopped selling their fun flavors, for lack of a better word, in stores and gas stations to make them less accessible to people that aren't of age.
Right.
So it's less attractive for an 18-year-old.
Very accurate information.
An
right.
18-year-old to go into a gas station and buy nicotine-flavored Joule Pod rather than cotton candy. So they made
true.
those flavors only
Yeah.
available for purchase online.
Cotton candy's my weakness. That and Peeps.
So you clearly follow that industry then, because
A little bit.
That's
I did study journalism, so I should be up to date on some kind of news.
well, that news is interesting, particularly in the financial world of the tobacco industry, because in fact you're right. They're only able to buy that stuff online now with the flavors, and
I think
my
that's
son's
also to
clients
protect their
were
image.
angry about it. My son's retail clients in the New York area
Well, it's-
were angry that they weren't not able to keep it in their
And
stores.
there's an anti-vaping campaign that you hear in traditional media. And you know that I come from traditional media, but I don't like what they're doing. So, which is why I'm, letting the
Right.
industry talk here. But it's like every other adult use product. In moderation and in the right atmosphere and the right social situation, it can enhance your life. The thing about cannabis is your endocannabinoid system inside you that they've discovered, right? is just waiting for this chemical interaction to improve your sleep, to improve your focus, to improve your life. And by the way, you don't have to be a waker and a baker and a stoner to do it.
Well, one thing's for sure. I started trying these CBD tinctures.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is this stuff really going to work? Really? Well, guess what? It works.
As long as you have good CBD.
Right. The higher quality CBD that I've tried is working. It's actually helping me sleep longer.
That's awesome. And as
So
we
take
get
it
older,
from a chronic insomniac.
yeah,
I'm telling you, CBD is working, and the industry is benefiting because it's working.
yep. And we've got a couple of people who are experts on CBD. I've interviewed them. They've come on my In the Weeds podcast, and they'll be joining us at our booth.
Leon Drucker, perhaps?
Well, Leon Drucker is a legend, as we know.
He
and
is.
He is the publisher of the Sensi magazine, and I'm a
He's
big
a
fan.
true
I
legend.
walk by, and that's right. And I like his wife too, Christine. She's really
I
nice.
look forward to meeting her.
Yeah, very cool. Hey, Rick, I could go 3 more minutes? Okay, I can go 3 more minutes. What do you hope to get out of this show as far as business? I mean, you have certain expectations when you go into a show like this. What are some of the goals of the company?
Well, we have several applicants that have just received their good-to-go paperwork, so to speak. And they're looking for us to help design and fabricate the interiors of their impending retail operations in various cities throughout Massachusetts, Maryland, Ohio, etc. And a lot of them are going to be at the show. I'm probably referring mostly to the moratorium accounts that were held up in the towns that are now breaking free. And we're meeting to discuss their motif and their square footage and how their vision is seen in their own retail world.
Nice. So this weekend, NETA, the New England Treatment Access Facility in Brookline, located at the Brookline Savings Bank, opens for recreational sales tomorrow.
Yes.
I drove by it today, and they
Yes.
were already doing preparations to shut down. They have 14 spaces in their parking lot. It's one of the worst parking lots ever. Okay, but
Good luck with it to them with that.
well,
okay.
actually, they're shutting it down. That's where the people are going to actually
okay.
stand and wait in line.
Oh,
So it's going to be quite a scene tomorrow in Brookline.
okay.
That being said, that dispensary cheated because they used the Brookline Savings Bank for their interior design. Okay? It is one of the coolest buildings. I don't care if you go to buy anything or not, or you like their medical stuff or they're not. I have a few my own opinions
You're
about
just going
them.
to appreciate the architecture.
But it's really cool because it's an old building. It's got the old big safe, and that's where they keep their product. And they have got the teller windows, and there's beautiful wood interiors. I mean, as a designer, interior designer, dude, I mean, you've been in. I'm guessing you've been in.
Yeah.
I've seen the interiors.
We're hoping to work with them on their New Franklin site, actually, and they're good friends of mine. The management at NETA.
And Franklin is where I lived for 10 years and coached for many years.
Franklin.
Franklin, Massachusetts.
Franklin,
That's right
Mass.
next to where I live, Medway.
Oh, Medway.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my son went to Tri-County Voc-Tech in Franklin, and we still
nice.
have a lot of friends down there. And I know Forge Park is where they grow their weed.
Good to know, Jimmy.
And more importantly, I know the guy who developed Forge Park. I went to Tufts with Mr. Ty.
You seem to know where all the bodies are buried then.
Yes, I do.
Great work.
You and I did this one night
That's
a couple weeks ago, and we're like, holy mackerel, we know a few people, don't we?
Oh, for sure. Well,
That's what
that's
happens when you get older, right?
Get a little older, unfortunately. But one of the people that I also want to have you guys talk to is our strategic partner, Matt Pichette, who owns Rusco General Contractors.
Mhm.
He just finished building in Uxbridge.
Yep.
And
For not Caroline's. He's not doing
no, he's doing that for Nature's Medicines.
Oh, I
Okay.
just heard about that one that's opening Caroline's Cannabis.
Caroline's.
Right, I heard about that as well.
But do you know why it's so amazing, this woman, Caroline? We're going to get into women entrepreneurship in this in
Okay.
cannabis in the next couple of interviews. She filled out all her paperwork. She did. You know how everybody
She did
says-
everything.
She did everything. She didn't hire an
commendable.
attorney. She filled out her. She did it, and obviously saved a whole boatload of money.
Oh,
doing
that's
it
an
that way.
awful lot of money.
And got the first rec only without medical beforehand license.
Wow.
I can't wait to
That's
meet her.
Fantastic. I look forward to meeting her too. That's very impressive.
Rick
Yeah, that's an
Granoff
incredible
from
feat.
Smokin Interiors. Leave off the G.
Right.
I've enjoyed getting to know you over the last few weeks.
Jimmy, it's a pleasure.
I look
Pleasure
forward-
spending time with you. And don't forget, we're going to be sponsoring some networking events this evening at Dillon's, as well as tomorrow evening,
Oh,
Smokin Interiors. Love to have
oh.
you there. Well, obviously
Oh.
you'll be there.
Well,